So, you've just started your dietitian private practice, and you've heard that the best way to get a steady stream of clients coming into your business is to connect with other referring providers. These providers might look like doctors, therapists, or specialists that can refer a steady stream of clients to you. But how do you do that? Are you the person that walks in with information and a pamphlet? Are you the person that brings in donuts for the entire staff? What is the best, most efficient use of your time to get that steady stream of clients coming into your dietitian private practice? I want to talk about some tips and tricks that have worked for me and also really streamline this process and made it easy and affordable. My name's Sheena, and I've been running a private practice for the last decade, and I help other dietitians to grow and scale a profitable one-to-one dietitian private practice. So let's talk about three things that you must do if you want to get and maintain a steady stream of clients from referring providers in your private practice. The first thing that I want to encourage you to do is to know which providers you even want to connect with. And this actually really involves knowing your niche. This is really going to streamline your marketing, help you to utilize your time most efficiently, because there's nothing more frustrating than spending hours and hours on marketing efforts and tons of dollars that just don't work. So, what I do highly encourage is when you want to connect with referring providers, the best thing that you can do is to really nail down your niche. If you want to learn more about that, I will link to my video above on how to nail your niche. So, delving into getting that stream of clients, once you have actually identified which providers you even want to reach out to, the first thing that you want to do is make a friend and create an experience. Often we put these referring providers on a throne, that they are the gatekeepers to get you the clients that you need in your business. But really, these people are just that. Referring providers are just people, and they want to connect with you on a personal level to know that you are the best person to serve their clients. So that's really what you're doing first and foremost is you are just making a friend, go in with enthusiasm, be excited about the services that you can provide to that provider. And then what I also encourage you to do is create an experience. And this actually goes along with making friends. Who makes friends in an environment that is stagnant and dull? No one. So we really want to create that experience. A little humor if you're a humorous person to your interaction, crack a few jokes, ask about hobbies, interests, etc. Don't make it so stagnant that you're just going in and saying, this is the services that I provide, and let's check it off the box, refer me some patients. Pretty much nobody is going to remember you in those incidences. So make that friend. And while you're at it, when you're making that friend, I want you to remember one thing: no one cares about you. I know that you're actually technically going in there to market your service, but all that provider really cares about is that you can help solve their patient's problem, thereby helping them solve their problem and save time. Okay, digging back into creating experiences. This is actually a little trick that I learned during the COVID-19 pandemic when my face to face interactions were put on a complete stop. What I learned to do is create an experience for referring providers through snail mail. Now, I know this sounds kind of lame, but I actually find it to be incredibly exciting. I've actually gotten comments from my referring providers that they'd like to get my personal intake on how to market because they enjoyed the experience of receiving my snail mail so much. So, what do? Essentially, I kind of bring these providers into my unofficial fan club. Do any of you guys remember when, say, Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen, other faces of the past had like a fan club? And you could sign up for this fan club by paying a few dollars a month, and you would get something really cool in the mail. It was like a little packet or a little trinket or toy or something along those lines. And you were so excited for that snail mail to show up. Well, essentially, I try to create the same experience for the provider. I start out at the envelope, and I'll drop an example here. And I literally create designs on the envelope. So as soon as it comes in the mail, the physician is curious. Inside that envelope, I include an introductory letter, which I clearly outline exactly how I solve that patient's problem and thereby save that provider time. In addition to that, I have a QR code where the In addition to that, I have a QR code where the physician can easily scan that QR code and see an introductory video of myself that again outlines my personality and the way that I see clients and the problems that I help that client solve. So already the physician is getting to know me. And by the way, most physicians are completely content with that. They've seen an outline of what I do, they've seen my personality through my video, and they start referring me patients. But if they need even more interaction, I have a link right on that QR code underneath my video where they can schedule a one-to-one virtual consult with me and we can dig into each other's work a little bit more thoroughly. Now, what this does is it actually really helps to eliminate friction for that provider. They don't have to go back and forth with me trying to schedule a consult, and I've kind of bypassed that gatekeeper, which is usually that front desk agent, and I'm able to speak with the provider directly. Saves me a lot of time, it saves the provider a lot of time, and again, eliminates friction. So, back to what I said before, the provider doesn't want more of your time, they want more of their time back. So, the easier that you can show them exactly which services you offer, and the easier it is for them to refer and to have a patient book with you, awesome. You've eliminated steps in that booking process, and you're more likely to get more clients. Because the more steps you have that a provider needs to do to get that client booked with you, you're losing patient referrals all the time. In addition to my introductory letter and my introductory video for that physician, I also include several postcards that they can easily hand out to clients. And just like on my referring provider letter, I outline exactly how I help that client in a very specific way on these informational postcards. And I also include a different QR code on that informational postcard for the client to simply scan and book an appointment right then and there. So, again, eliminating that friction for both the referring provider and my client. The second thing that you need to do to get a steady stream of clients coming into your business is remember that we are looking to give that physician their time back. So, again, that kind of goes with that step one, but really kind of digging into that thoroughly. The physician doesn't want more of your time, they want more of theirs back. Some common information that I used to get when I was seeking out referring providers is bring them lunch, stop them with some bagels, make sure that you're talking to the referral coordinator and setting something up with the physicians. Okay, do you know how many hours or days or even weeks that can take? It is literally taking up everyone's time. And I don't know about you, but my lunch hour is kind of my time to myself. These doctors are busy. They necessarily want to sit through their lunch hour, which is supposed to be their personal time with you, waiting for you to sell yourself to them. Personally, I wouldn't want to do that with my lunch hour. But I know some people have had success with this. What I actually do encourage is doing this after you've already created a relationship with that referring provider. So, for example, after you already have a steady stream of clients coming in with them, use this as kind of a follow back and check in. Hey, can I set up something with your office and answer any questions that your staff has and also bring those goodies along? So not only is that going to save you time, them time, it's also going to save you a lot of money. And that's actually a big one too, is if we're buying all of these clinics, all of these things, and we don't even know if they're going to give us referring providers or if we're a good fit, to me, that's just wasting precious marketing dollars where we could really be targeting that a lot better. And the last thing, and maybe the most important thing when it comes to getting that steady stream of clients into your private practice from referring providers, is that we want to close the loop. What do I mean by that? If a referring provider starts sending you patients, appreciate that. Show that provider that you appreciate that. I always follow up with a phone call and a handwritten thank you note to let that physician know that I've appreciated working with them and providing our patients with care. And it doesn't have to be something super extravagant. I just send a quick thank you note. Thank you so much for referring patient XYZ. I look forward to having a continued working relationship with you and supporting mutual clients. Boom, done. For providers that also send me a lot of clients, I do actually give them gifts as well, usually once a year or something along those lines. What I usually do is like a coffee mug with a funny little logo of mine that also, again, showcases my work, my personality, and keeps that person thinking of me. Now, what I also do after every patient is I make sure they sign that ROI or release of information, which allows me to communicate back and forth with their doctor. I send an initial chart note back to the doctor every time I see a new patient. Pro tip, I also get an ROI from patients that have self referred, and I send the long initial chart notes to their provider, which introduces my work and myself to that referring provider without ever having to go out and seek out those providers on my own. So I've actually gotten a lot of patients that way. Is just if somebody does self refer or there's a referral from like a therapist or something along those lines, really strive to get that initial chart note into the hands of the physician to let them know the work that I do and that I'm available for referrals for additional clients. Doing those three things honestly has kept a steady stream of clients coming in my business year after year. And they're very simple to do if we just kind of stay on top of that. I want to let you know that marketing as a private practice owner is kind of your main job. Seeing patients is actually kind of secondary. So we should be setting aside an hour or two a day equivalent or, making that all into one day to continue to do outreach and marketing to our referring providers. And that is whether it's through the mail, that is whether it's through phone calls, etc., and continuing to foster those relationships. By the way, one thing I wouldn't recommend for getting that steady stream of clients is sending out faxes with your information to the referring provider. I don't think I've ever gotten a referral from sending out my information via fax. I don't really know why that is. I've heard that advice before, but honestly, it's just crickets and it's kind of a lot of work, especially to find the right person to send faxes to. So that's something that I definitely wouldn't recommend. So, these are just a few ways to save your marketing time, energy, and resources. I hope that you found this information helpful. If you do have any questions, for sure, drop them in the comments below, and I'll try to get back to those questions as soon as I can. Because definitely, if you have questions, I'm sure someone else has a similar question. If you found this video helpful, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing with a friend.